All right, guys, round 3. Let's see if it'll be quick. And if you want, if it goes quick, we'll grab Bloodwing again. We'll continue on. But anyway, yeah, why not? I don't mind. Q&A, why not? All right, last mission by Depso here. Operation 9-9 at Sector. Background, platoon-sized element gets trapped inside enemy territory, and they must prepare a last stand in the town of La Trinité. What did Don send you? Oh, yeah. She sent me that, too. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a picture from the office of the boss guy shaking the other boss, and the bigger boss is like really happy, and the other guy is like super confused. And it's the caption, the really old guy is the Greek ambassador, and then the guy confused is Liru. Yeah. 11 out of 10. Anyway, let's get into the damn round, shall we? Game mode is Ad Sector, so how this game mode works is if the attackers get more people in the sector than the defenders at any time, a 90-second timer will start. It's either 60 or 90, they change it up, but if at any point the attacking faction loses the number advantage in the sector, then it resets the timer and only starts counting down again when the attackers have the number advantage in the sector. So if the defenders have 3 people in the sector and the attackers bring in 4, and it's held like that for 90 seconds, and the sector's taken. If there's no defenders in the sector and the attackers have 1 person enter it, it starts the timer, and, you know, we'll catch down anyway. Once sectors are taken, they cannot be recaptured. Otherwise, mission variables, render distance going to be 1,250 meters. Defender 4 to 5 points is 275, so that's over double of what we normally see in 125. Medium anti-tank settings are both sides have Mazes, 2 rounds per team. We'll see if they even have anything on Echo, because that is the Maz team. Neither side has an Echo, so it doesn't matter. All right, starting with Blue 4. Blue 4, your modern French Army CE camouflage kits. They're going to have FAMASs mainly, but breaking down the roster, you got your platoon lead, platoon sergeant, squad leader, team leader, auto rifleman assistant, grenadier IR. Grenadier IRs have the Hunt IR 40mm grenades. Fire in the air, makes a camera, parachute down, gives a nice bird's eye view of the AO. Machine gunner assistant, combat engineer, which have the choice of the following 4 types of ordnance. 4 tripwire mines, 2 beam HE, 2 beam flares, 3 AT mines, 2 explosive charges, or 4 explosive 4 explosive charges or 2 explosive satchels. Satchels are bigger. The satchels and charges can also be turned to throwables as well. You got light anti-tank, medium anti-tank 1 and 2 and assistance. RI, RS, and SMP don't matter because they don't exist anymore. DMRs, Blue 4, that's going to be a Scar H. Crew lead, crewmen, pilots, medics, and the base kits. Loadout for these guys are going to be FAMASs or HK416s. It is their choice. Glock 17s for their handguns, mini-me's for the Alpha Bravo Charlie machine gunners, well, technically light machine gunners, also known as auto riflemen. Medium machine gunners in Delta get the FN mag, and then light anti-tank's going to be the M136. Crew and aviators get a choice between the MP5 or an HK416 with a 10-inch barrel. 3 assets for them are going to be 3 M2 Humvees. They're the defending force, right? Yeah, so not a bad choice with that. You can get a lot of defense with those assets there, but that is fine. Looking over at Blue 4's roster, we have Slushy commanding the defense here, Shy being Alpha's lead, Curie being the marksman, Lolo being the medic, Patriot leading Alpha 1 with Sam, Reapers and Sandy, Mutants, Olaf, Seismo, and Ghoster, Norris leading Alpha 2 with Chols, Kosiria, and Harrington, Bravo leading Ash leading Bravo with Kermit as the 2IC, and Gazog as the marksman, Swola as the medic. You can tell who the leadership is generally by the person that's in the first slash, but also the squad leader doesn't get a grenade launcher, only the 2IC does, and you see it right there. NASA leading Bravo 1 with Tackleberry, Bluck, Kerrigan White, Major Khan, Ivno, and Wombat together. Eric leading Bravo 2 with Banks, Ander, and Arcor. Guy Fury leading Delta. I don't know what role that is, probably a medic role because it doesn't have a GL. So Flux is taking the medic for the group. Artisan, Korvac, and Money. Looks like Artisan and Korvac are being 2 machine gunners. Artisan because we see the symbol, Korvac because we see the gun. And then Kane and Legal Action, I'm assuming, are 2 other machine gunners. But looks like they're taking all 3 Humvees. And they're just going to be the heavy weapons guys moving around and being quick. So that is nice to see. But otherwise, Green 4, skipping over to them, are going to be up here with quite a lot to work with in terms of assets. All right, let's go ahead and look at the roster for them. Green 4, their uniforms are going to be the Modern Altis Army Digital Lizard Camouflage by Maz. Loadout's going to be G3s or M4A1s. G3A3, they are 7.62x51 NATO battle rifles, so that should be interesting. 7.62 advantage. Otherwise, auto rifleman for Alpha Bravo Charlie going to have the M249. Machine gunners Delta going to have the MG3. Nothing on crew served weapons. I skipped a few things. Sorry. Single shot disposable weapon will be the M136. And crew and Navy get the choice of the MP7 or the M4A1. So with that, their assets include the following. We have an Mi-8. We've got a Praga transport, 2 Ural transports, a Volga transport car. We have a sedan. It's a regular civilian transport, a VW Golf car, 2 HMG Humvees. What? Your tails what? Oh, so they actually sent them after 7 months? Wow. They're actually there. They might make it on time. All right. Might make it on time. All right, I'll get to that side story in a second. But 2 HMG Land Rovers. One of them also has a PKT on the front. 2 BRDMs with KPTV turrets, so it's got 14.5 millimeter and 7.62 millimeter. 2 transport UAZs, and then a single gas truck. Basically like a civilian-based force.
Oh my God. No, Debso, right.
In which case you'll have to deal with having a G3 for this.
Malden.
Looks like people do not like having the G3, but anyway. Vagrant's going to be commanding. He is the most seasoned commander in FNF, in my opinion, so we'll see how he does. Rufy is going to be his 2IC. Kabubi Face being Alpha lead. Vegeta being the medic. Steve being the marksman for Alpha. They got a PSG-1. Interesting. Waldo being Alpha 1's lead with Otto Visky, Fonz, Wise, Cooper, and Yano under him. No Alpha 2. We skip right to Bravo. Bravo's being led by Polish Pepe with Dewadox, Depso, or Dewak. Dizwak, that's it. Depso, Deska Keeper Timek, SZ Shemadagoda, Leziak, Uru, and Audi. Pro Hunter leading Char with Rodrigue, Frank, Thompson, Skada, Crazy, Cameron, Aim the Balls, Gogu, and Mikadum. Charlie 2 being led by Nerden with Andrewy on the extra group there. It's kind of funny, their grenade weaponry, or grenadier weapons are the actual Altis weapons from Finella with the grenade launcher, but I digress. Delta being led by Flying Finn with Azariah as the 2IC, Puma being the medic, Yanni Finn leading Delta 1 with Nemesis, Nimia, Nafs, and Purton under him, and Mackenzie leading Delta 2 with Cullis, Dobbs, Whiplash, and Twins under him, and then Hotel, which is going to be the Mi-8 crew, is going to be Pearson Alexander. Don't know why they need 2 people to fly that floating cow, but they need 2 people to fly it. Anyway, I'm going to look down over here, because this is another AO that they can start in, but there's no vehicles down here except for these 2, so looks like most of them are probably going to stay up there so I can drive down. Sector 1 for Blue 4 is down in the town of Dorde. That's going to be pretty much in the center of the town here. And then you got sectors 2 and 3 in the town of La Trinite. One around the church area and another around this one spot here. All right. I'm going to be honest. This is the type of AO where with Slushy commanding, what she should do is have Delta, who have the M2 Humvees, just rush, rush, rush. Send them up the road and rush to try to intercept Green 4 coming in. And after they literally get up to their spawn point, just come back down and just, you know, patrol around vehicle site wise, because keeping them static in an urban scenario isn't really going to help them, because 50 cal vehicles are best locking down open areas. But regardless with that, the rest, I mean, Blue 4, there's just not really any good ways to hold this town, admittedly, with the amount of forces they have. They just have to focus on internal perimeters, holding the sectors themselves, and hoping for the best. Because it's just a massive town, you know what I mean? Granted, they might be able to come down here and hold this entire town on their own, but I mean, there's just so many ways that the attackers can come down on it, so it's not really worth holding it. And at least by holding these 2 objectives up here, they can, you know, not lose one immediately like they lose one down to the south. But even so, I also think there should be no units starting in Sector 1 if they can help it. because that's just going to pull forces away from Sector 2. Really, this is just going to be reliant on sending the Humvees out to try to intercept Green 4 coming in. And then otherwise, just having the Humvees go to various areas and try to lock down all the open fields that they can. And just kind of hoping for the best and hoping that their CQC is up to snuff. Green 4, meanwhile, their best bet would be to do a convoy with the front vehicle and the rear vehicle being two of the KPTV Vics or the Land Rover Vics. So they have that security. MI8 could be boarded. They could land forces up here and try pushing in from a different area. But that's also really risky because what if they have an M2 Humvee up there? I don't think using the MI8 is worth it at all. You shouldn't use it for recon either because, how would I put it? It's just really easy for it to be shot down. You know what I mean? Like just a few 50 cal shots and that thing's engine's going to be off. So you could argue it's used as recon, but I'm going to be honest, with the convoy like that, the assets they're fighting, they just need the KPTVs and the Land Rovers on point, and they should be fine. That's all I got. So to the side story, Bloodwing ordered some stuff for cosplay for a convention, which is not this weekend, but next weekend, which is why I'll be gone Thursday evening to Saturday, or excuse me, Sunday afternoon. She ordered them 7 months ago, and the person that made them did it last minute, and apparently there was like a cyber attack on the mailing system in the UK, so it looked like she wasn't going to get them, but thankfully they're apparently stateside now up in New York, so she might actually get them in time, because at that point, it's Friday, right? And if they're in New York, it's probably going to take 3 business days for them to get down here, which would be Wednesday or maybe Thursday. So she's happy about that, but yeah, if you're selling stuff, don't wait last minute to get it, because if last minute issues happen, you might be SOL. That's the lesson there. Looks like Green 4 is going to mount a large amount of forces into the MI8. I don't agree with that, because all you're going to have is forces splitting. What they should be doing is, if they really wanted to be cautious, either, you know, drive all the way around the MSR, dismount down here, you can use this hill to overwatch and get your forces through the forested area right here, and then once you have a foothold, you can then have forces remount in the VIX and drive right up and join the force in the main assault. All they're going to be doing is splitting their forces to attack in multiple different directions. Granted, that might work out if the defenders just completely space their forces out, but that's unlikely. Just hold internal defenses around sectors 2 and 3, nothing being put down on bait. What they could have done, and this might violate the Lone Wolf statute, but have a single demo specialist. This is why setting a Vanguard force can be helpful sometimes. If you have a fire team down here with 1 explosive specialist, why are 4 explosive charges or 2 explosive satchels to the sector? Yeah. That's going to kill a lot of people. Anyway, round has begun. Green 4 are going to do the massive wide angle push, which is why they're loading in the MI8, because the MI8 is probably going to land somewhere over here instead. And possibly even land down here and dismount just to push units around. So we'll just have to see how all that goes. We'll just have to see where that helicopter decides to go. I'm just really worried that an M2 Humvee is going to intercept it. Interestingly enough, Slushy's not going to have Pepega commit to early charges here. Instead, they're just spacing out the 50 cal vehicles to be around various different areas. But I see 2. Okay, no. So some of them are being kept into the town. I don't agree with them being held here, but I think it's held here. Look at where the sandbags are, to literally hold against that hilltop. This I do agree with. As long as they're just not being kept in the town to fight in the town, that's a waste of the asset. They should be maximizing these open fields or being sent to try to counterattack convoys. MI8's not moving because it's trying to do reconnaissance. So did they actually load it with... Yes, they did. They loaded it with the entirety of Delta. Very risky. Still gaining altitude while it's getting that reconnaissance, which shows me that they're either going to do one of 2 things. they're either getting the altitude to watch recon and they're going to do a dive around and then dismount, or they're doing a lay low. Because a helicopter can't do a halo jump because halos involve being 10 clicks in the air. A lay low is when you're only a few kilometers in the air. So they might have everyone in there with parachutes, and they might do a lay low insert, which would be kind of cool, admittedly. But it's a little risky. We'll see where they decide to dismount. I don't think they have enough parachutes in there for everyone in there, but I could be wrong. It might be 16 total.
That's falling orders.
Yeah, that's the engagement area. I'll be back. I'm gonna
Hold on, I'm taking off my
binos.
sight.
No,
Roger. Put it in my
that's
backpack.
embarrassing.
Put it in my backpack.
Lay low stands for low altitude, low insert. Halo is high altitude, low. Not insert, idiot. Opening. Low altitude, low opening. That's because it's an O, not an I. I'm an idiot.
I appreciate you. I do. I really appreciate you. I just don't appreciate fucking attitude flux.
So I had a miscommunication
Just, if you see
there.
anything, just bring it up the chain. I'm gonna slowly coax Command to believing my idea that I'm about to tell him is his idea.
What? Well, if you're not seeing any movement over there, it's clear that they're going to be flanking around the northern side.
FNF. Sad I cannot join in any longer. Well, anyway, Liru, keep up the
Command,
great job you're doing.
This is
MG.
Delta.
Thanks for the 32-month resub.
You mentioned it earlier,
Hope
but
you keep enjoying the operations.
Delta was
Hope
thinking
you get
of
a nice kick out of
confirming
the
the
scenario.
idea of going to Hill 165 and Hill 164, so then we could be close to the Delta fallback and still be present in order to shoot people.
So I think he's saying to Command for permission to go over here, but he's already over here. So what's going to be really funny is this is all different because they're going to have to completely reposition in a second. Aircraft's not flying over.
And this is Delta again. I believe you're stepped on.
Oh, really?
Did you say that we were able to traverse between Hill 164 and Hill 165 in order to look at the southwest?
Interesting, Ados. I didn't know that. So an underwater insert is technically a halo by that description.
Alright, boys. Alright, boys. It worked. He even thought it was his own good idea. So you can go between 165 and 164 now. We're free to move a little bit, a little tiny bit.
Slushy's gonna watch this back and be very mad at you. But
I'm just
anyway,
letting you know. I'm just making sure that everyone's understanding. Do we have a British version? That's
'Cause
like a British vehicle, isn't it?
the really funny thing is that these guys are completely out of position. The way Green Force setting up their attack, they're gonna be completely out of position. Helicopter circling around. You know, these two Blue 4 in the open here getting shot at.
Smoke me. Yeah, I'm gonna need to medic this up.
Alright. So now we just have to see how everything adjusts. Because Papega's not the type of group to stay to the south so far. Otherwise, we have this Overwatch team. Interesting. So a Land Rover blew up because they crashed into each other. And Timek is dead. Deska Keeper got shot up there, so that's unfortunate.
Nie. Stoi przecież. A rzeczywiście. No dobra, nieważne.
Ale mówiłem od początku, że nas tak złapią.
Czekajcie, A1 tu jedzie.
O.
Zlokalizujmy skąd nas zwalą.
Alright.
This is Bravo. We're engaged by Marksman. Widzę, ale
That's it.
copy
No.
that. We're gonna try going north. Panowie, jest chyba jeden.
How high is that vehicle? So this being static here just tells me they're waiting in reserve to see if they can pull a lot of Blue 4 out to form a defense line here so they can then land and then hit the sectors on the rear. So we'll see how that all goes. Still got some marksmen up here on Blue 4 trying to lock things down.
Eyes on.
Yeah, it hit the tree right next to his head. Alright. So you got a picket force right here trying to hold. I need to smoke again and run. I mean, I gotta commend who's command here. Vagrant is doing another bait and switch to let Scandy then get in close. So he's playing this out masterfully. It's just how Slushy gonna counter it. Because it looks like we're starting to see everyone remounting in the Vic. So they're gonna be pulled down. But let's see, Blue 4, they haven't taken a single KIA yet. Green 4 have taken 2 or 3. And by now with this Overwatch position, they're just watching everything else move up, which granted they only see, you know, those units moving up here, but they're getting a good idea that a lot of stuff's coming. So I'm actually kind of surprised we're not seeing the M2 vehicles trying to come around and do some elaborate flanks, but might just be because they're tied to certain units and whatnot. Helicopter will probably not make another play for another 10 to 15 minutes because what Vagrant's trying to do is pull all he can to form an all-in defensive line on the north. But if Slushy was paying attention to the last round, Slushy's going to know that that's not a good idea because there might be another force waiting on the side to, you know, come in and immediately sweep the objectives themselves. Major Con, that GL going way over, unfortunately. But they're pulling off of that hill because they know they can lock it down with the 50 cal. Here's what concerns me. Green 4 hasn't sent anything to go hit Sector 1. So Blue 4 still has the option to run down and hold Sector 1 last second if everything goes to shit. Luck just got killed. That, I think, was Blue 4's first KIA. He got a kill, though. And that was... I guess that was Deska Keeper earlier on. Yuru's unconscious. But I don't see any other skulls. Yes, there are Femises with grenade launchers, believe it or not. So you got this one trench line right here. You gotta Green 4 team lead coming up. Wow. Couldn't get the headshot. Notice all of his limbs are hit and bleeding, not his body. So all of those shots went to the freaking limbs. I would be mad if I was him. That should have been an easy kill, but look at this. A rear-placed 249 gunner tries to open up with a grenade. Doesn't get it close enough because it bounces off a tree. He hurts himself with the grenade. But thankfully, he doesn't give away his position. We see some blood on the ground, too, because of what happened. So now, he's trying to get some shots out. And he just gets annihilated as soon as he opens up. Should have been a bit more patient with that. Helicopter's making its approach. They're going for a landing right here, but that's going to take a while for them to get into position, which might give Blue 4 enough time to counter and then pull back, because Green 4 is also moving in. So it looks like Blue 4 is actually retaking that hill. Now you got an M2 Humvee that's moved up, and it's starting to suppress the Green 4 advance. All right, Banks, grenade, grenade. He gets a drop. Tries to go for a second. Smart pullback. Get your kill and run. Almost gets blue on blue. And we got the wounded being carried over. That's Liru still down. Delta's deployed over here. They're going to be ineffective, actually, because by the time they're trying to set up, Green 4 is going to get their foot in the door. There's the helicopter landing. Arma Jesus would have been able to immediately call that up because of the long range. So now Blue 4 has information of a two-pronged attack right now. And what's weird is the two BRDMs are staying in reserve. They would be a lot better on overwatch positions on this hill, but they're just being kept on the rear and being completely ineffective. Even if they were put over here to help the helicopter landing, they could go up on this hill and still get some somewhat decent overwatch, but at least they can stop anything from pushing out to counter the helicopter push. So those assets are being a little ineffective at the moment. But this is just to open up a new attack angle, because these guys are getting right on top of where the sector is going to be anyway, so by the time Blue 4 is defending the sectors themselves, these guys wouldn't be in any position to kind of, you know, sneak in and do anything. Do you have a machine gun in the rear? Because I noticed his back is open. I don't see anyone back there, though, so it might be his co-pilot will turn into a rudimentary chopper gunner. Blue 4 taking casualties up here. M2 with a good flank. KPTVs are pulling back as well because the other M2's firing at them. Yeah, they're just completely ineffective in the low ground. Blue 4 have too much stuff up here. They need to load up and move back into the town because they were trying to flank whatever was over here, but it's already moved into the forested area. Casualties starting to mount on Green 4, but there's also a few on Blue 4. But so far, I think Blue 4 is maintaining this attack. We see that the Southern Force is now going over here to stop this force from coming in. But it's kind of weird. They're actually going southwest. I guess to maybe then go over here and then utilize the buildings going down instead of using the forest and then the vineyard to then go right on top of the objective. I don't know. It's a weird pathfinding call in my opinion, but they're trying to make it work. Banks here on kill 3. Isn't able to go past kill 3, does a lot of damage, but he is also flanked because he was pinned by being bipoded. Looking at the infantry right here, I think this infantry might be able to stop it, but we need to see these forces fold down. This is still a good marksman position for Kiri, but he is on no kills, and this is kind of far, so I think he'd be better suited in the AO, because at that point his other job of reconnaissance isn't necessarily needed. What worries me is you got a defensive line right here and another defensive line there. Explosive charge goes off. Not sure how many kills it got. Good use of a trap, though. And now the 50 cal Vic is firing at the helicopter for some silly reason. These guys need to fold into the town. They keep getting distracted. You got Bravo 2 and the other Humvee marauding around. These guys maneuvering around. Don't know if they're going to go all the way around to try to hit Sector 1. Or if they're going to try to come around back here and get on the hill and flank whatever's up there. But again, those BRDMs are completely being misplayed. Frag out. Gets a brilliant bounce. That's going to kill him. Brilliant bounce. I'm really impressed that Schult isn't looking at the source of the gunshots. He's just chilling there. Not doing anything. So this defense line's getting smashed. Just because of a refusal to commit. Blue 4 folding their forces in. Green 4 starting to descend as Blue 4 is kind of in a lot of weird areas here. Korvac on his own. No, I honestly think he is AFK because this is silly. Gary's just not lining up those shots. Love how you can hear the machine gun reverberating through my microphone. See, what's bugging me is a lot of Blue 4 has been turned around to engage this force. They're going to defeat that, but this force is probably going to break through. I'm really hoping Schult wakes back up, but I'm just going to assume he's out of action here. Oh, yeah, now these guys are screwed. He died. That's brilliant. Yeah, KPTVs are going to run them down. That's brilliant. You don't even hear it. Yeah. 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 Another dead guy. That's brilliant. So Green 4 now overwatching that position. That could sort them well on firing at rooftops, so it's going to be a bit of a bitch to PID. Alley-oop. Ran out of ammo, doesn't get his gun up in time, and gets absolutely annihilated. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Grenade. Yeah, so Scandy's persevering because it's freaking Scandy. I think Green 4 was able to get their number advantage back. Because again, I don't know why we're seeing Blue 4 crossing through open fields to counterattack an attacking force. It's silly. It's very silly. Then again, it's Delta, so that's Pepega logic, but Alpha 1 too. Oh, man. Light machine gun wins. Schultz back up. So, again, alright, Schultz can do something really cool here. I doubt that's gonna happen, but hey, we can try. MI8 takes a hit. That green 4 force is gonna get nullified in a second because of all the forces coming around to attack it. And I think the job was to pull forces out of the town so this force could break through, but it's not breaking through quick enough. But look at the remaining blue 4 defenders here. So if this force then turns around, it could still join in on the defense line, maybe be able to capture Sector 2. But blue 4 still have the Humvees, so they can quickly transport teams down to Sector 1 to hold that. What are you doing? Yeah, not gonna be useful. Humvees are driving down to basically provide support at this point. You got one more green 4 guy up here, Whiplash, with the MG3 being hunted by so much infantry, but that's pulled so many bodies away. So now this position's getting hit pretty hard. That was a blue 4 guy that just got one tap by possibly grenade shrapnel. I got Swole on his own up here. KPTV still doing Overwatch, but again, KPTVs were kind of useless. Yes, they're still just shooting at the damn helicopter. Literally just being bait. There goes one Humvee. Sector 2 being captured. I would be surprised if these guys just landed and took Sector 1. Because you're having a fight for Sector 3 right here. These guys are now going to be charging back. But it's just Blue Force completely out of position. Everywhere. Sector 2 is going to be taken. But that's going to force Blue 4 to make a decision. Either hold Sector 3 or try to rush down to Sector 1. But the helicopter is going to probably just land at Sector 1 and take it. So it forces Blue 4 to hold Sector 3. But Sector 3 is being taken right now because Blue 4 went out of the area. So Sector 2 is captured. Sector 3 lost it and then got it back. And one of them just died. Shy getting tunnel vision and not seeing Autovisky. Shoot him! Shoot him! Thank you! What are you waiting for, dude? That's amazing. Sector 3 is about to be captured, and then Pierce is landing to take... This is over. Grenade gets him. Sector 3, there's Sector 1. Blue 4 trying to rush in with the Humvee to stop it, but that's only one dude. This is GG. Just because they played to the objective and were able to pull too many Blue 4 to go hunting for that one helicopter crew. There goes explosive traps. It wasn't effective, though. There goes Sector 3. Sector 1 still has the one guy in there. And that's GG. Timer got reset. Blue 4, I don't think has any vehicles left to load up and try to push down there. It's over. It's over. That was brilliant. The one mistake was too many forces went against the helicopter crew, pulled away from the main threat, and they lost it. PK, yeah, those BRDMs were super useless, but oh man. All right. That's GG, everyone. That is going to be a Green 4 victory. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. We'll be back in 2 hours. Otherwise, cheers. And have a good one. God damn.